MVP and all that?
They announced the finalists, and
Uh,
and they announced the finalists for all the NFL Honors Awards, and we're going to get into them.
are we live?
We've been live for like 12 seconds.
You're 12 seconds. Thank God it's Friday, and thank God I don't have to see you for a couple of days after this.
Wow, that's so
Um,
mean.
Welcome to the Legends Clubhouse. I am Bobby Kaboose, as always, with the guy that I don't want to see anymore is Lawson Turner. What's going on, man?
Wow, we got what, 3 more weeks left? We got this one, the built-in bye week for the Super Bowl, and one more. Th- Then we're done.
So what's the weather like in Florida, man? What's the temperature at?
It's currently at a cool 76 degrees.
It's 76 there.
According
Cool.
to my weather app.
Cool. It's 1 degree here, and it
That's it.
feels
Just
like
one.
-6.
How much snow? Or snow won't happen till the weekend.
No, the snow won't happen until Sunday. Today, tomorrow will just be super cold. Like tonight, it's supposed to be like -10.
That's
So at least the sun's out. It doesn't feel like that cold. I was just out and about, and
mm,
it feels like about 20. Like so, it's not terrible. Like I didn't wear a jacket. I just wore a hoodie. I'm good, but
that's when
it's not like
like
I'm outside the entire time I'm in and out of my car. But
yeah. So like a couple years ago, I went to England for a month, and it, in the month of December, so it's already like winter time, and it was cold and snowing and stuff over there. And I'm walking around like what I would normally like what I'm wearing right now, which is short sleeve shirt and some shorts. And I lost me. You're not cold. I'm like, dude, I would kill for y'all like 60 degrees year round. And like, I think when we were walking around, it was in like, the 30s and 20s. I'm like, dude, I've been waiting. So I make the joke. I had to fly halfway across the world to see some freaking snow.
yeah,
Because, just
yeah,
like, it's funny because now that I, reminisce on it, I remember growing up and like, there would always be like, there would be snow like that time of the year. And then from like 2000,
mhm.
like, I don't know, 12 till like we got in Georgia, there was snow like 2 years ago. There was very little to no snow like at all. And I'm like, that damn global warming.
Yeah. Well, it like to me, it's weird to think that like people like obviously we don't have snow on Christmas every year, but like
hmm
for like never seen snow or never had a white Christmas is weird to me.
One of my buddies, the buddy that who's Kevin mentioned staying, he's from Florida, but when he was I think when he was 16, 17, he moved up to Maryland, and he was like, yeah, I'd never seen snow till I was like 17.
Yeah.
And and,
Yeah,
and,
it's
and
wild.
yeah, dude.
But yeah, man. So
Mm.
we didn't talk about the national championship game yesterday.
No, we
We
didn't.
get that. Indiana won. We're okay. We're past it. Um,
We're not gonna go into, bro. I don't know any coach that could have done what Kirk Cignetti's done over the past 2 years. Like
yeah.
it's genuinely been insane.
Right. The most losing program in college football history wins their first national championship. That's three in a row for the Big Ten,
hmm
which I think it's okay to say that the Big Ten has overtaken the SEC as far as the best conference in the nation.
hmm
But I don't think their reign on top. I don't think is gonna be that long. I think it's gonna be somewhat short, like Leprechauns, because of the NIL transfer portal, and just how college football is now.
hmm
I don't think there's gonna be a one dominant conference anymore, especially in the changes of being NFL light. But for right now, the Big Ten can say that they are the best. And for what seems like decades, it seemed like we heard rumors and things that players in the South would get benefits for going to their schools, and now that everyone can get benefits, we even the playing field. And, kids are okay with coming to the North and being a little cold now.
Yeah, especially with like the run of like the Saban era, because about even like September, it's like, well, we know who's gonna be there at the end. It's gonna be
Hmm.
Alabama, Clemson, sprinkling a Georgia every now and again, and I mean, obviously, you mix in your Ohio States, once every blue moon, but for the majority, it was Alabama's gonna roll. And if they
Hmm.
suffer any injuries, their backup is just as good, if not better, than your starters. Which is
Yeah.
why I feel like, kind of how you said that there's not going to be like a dominant conference. I don't see there being like a dominant team over the next
Right.
however long, just due to, just like you brought up, the transfer portal and the fact that players are getting paid. It's like, oh, um, there's rumors going around that Miami is going to there's a good chance that they're going to get the quarterback from Duke, and it's like, oh, well, of course they are, because it's a Miami and he's a good player, so of course they're just going to pay and get one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that, kids can start off at like a not in football school and end up, being at one of those most prestigious schools in the nation after,
Hmm.
a solid year. But yeah, man, it's a new college football era, dude. I'm not sure if I like it, but whatever, dude. There's nothing I can do about it.
You're not sure if you
Um,
like it.
so
What seems
yeah,
wrong with it?
because like I don't like how kids can transfer 8 million times and not have and be 35 and have two wives, a mortgage, and or two a wife, two kids, a mortgage, and work at Enterprise Rent a Car, but still play football for like it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Hmm.
I do like seeing like college. It's unlike the NFL yesterday of me going through teams that's never won a national or a Super Bowl, and still rooting for them not to win before the Lions. College football is a little different as far as that aspect. I'd like to see as many teams as possible win, national championships and have the parity and get Michigan State in the fold and maybe a
Just
MAC
wait,
school in there.
just wait till Kennesaw State's in the mix.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
If the
So,
if the Kennesaw State Owls ever like go crazy and make the playoff, oh, that will be the number. Like, how every year before like the playoffs and stuff, like ESPN, whether it be ESPN Sports Center, Fox, whoever, they do like the geo map of like the US, and it's like what percent of whoever wants to win. Do
yeah.
the entire country, other than like the state of Alabama or whoever's in the playoff, whatever your in quotations your blue blood is, everyone's gonna be rooting for
Mhm.
these these underdogs. That's why March
Yeah.
Madness is amazing, because it's like we love the
Right.
Cinderella runs.
Right. Basketball's a little different,
Right.
than football. Like Minnesota State, is, even if they get some recruits, or spend some money, I don't know if they're
Right.
going to be good enough to go with big dogs. But,
Oh, probably not.
um,
But I'm just throwing it out there.
so,
If we were to see one of those boo boo ass schools,
yeah, give me 5 million and I'll sign up for Army. Um,
you might have to not 5 million. You might have to sign a 5-year contract for
Well,
them.
yeah, give me 25 million, 5 year contract. I'll be over in Iraq and I'll be like, oh, how much you making? They'll be like, oh, like 40 grand. I'll be like, oh, that sucks. I got a $5 million a year deal. And I play football every Saturday. But
It's
anyway,
amazing. Yeah.
that would be great. I'm serving my country, but yeah, I'm taking 25 mil from you know, name ex army recruit. Um, But yeah, dude.
Hmm.
Getting into the game. I mean, Miami had a chance at the end. I was rooting for Miami, even though I am. I see. Like, are you a fan of any college football team?
N- if you would have told me in 2020, if you would have told me like in 2017, 2018, when I first started to like go hardcore in sports and stuff like that I would ever give a flying fuck about college football, I would have said you're out of your mind. Because, like, my dad's side of family are giant Tennessee fans, and so they're all into the college football and stuff like that. And me, I'm just like, I don't really.
So
I
they
watch
must hate
call,
Leanne Tui.
huh?
They must hate Leanne Tui.
Yeah,
You know who that is?
no.
Yeah, they do hate her. She's who Sandra Bullock played in Blindside. You
They
seen that movie?
I have I seen the
Yeah,
Blind Side. I
yeah.
saw it like twice when it first
So
came
you see,
out. Yeah.
Michael Orr was
Hmm.
either be going to Tennessee or Ole
Yeah.
Miss, and he chose this because his family
Dude, I
chose Ole
remember
Miss to know how to play football. Yeah.
we were actually just talking about because when I was just talking to them recently about like the Lane Kiffin stuff and
Hmm.
how he has his ties to Tennessee and stuff like that, and how Lane was saying before he went to LSU that he wished his dad was there, or to kind of guide, or tell so he could listen to what his dad said. And my dad and Danny were going on a rant. They were like, "No, you fucking liar! Because if you'd have listened to your fucking dad, you would have stayed at fucking Tennessee like he told you to. But no, you fucking jumped ship and went wherever." And so they're like, "Fuck Lane Kiffin." I'm like, "Damn, this shit goes deep."
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, so if I was gonna ask because
Hmm.
um if you were a Tennessee fan, I was gonna ask if you are like if you root for the SEC if Tennessee's not in it, because I do know a lot of people in the Big Ten, they'll
Hmm.
like I'm a Michigan State guy, but I necessarily don't root for the Big Ten and bowl games and stuff. I don't care. So
Dude, the
I was
SEC.
rooting for Miami. I was rooting for Miami. I do like you. Um, but they came up short. They had a chance at the end, but Carson
Hmm.
Beck will probably transfer to another top school and try to win a national championship somewhere else.
It's so funny you said that because before, not like the day before the game, but a couple days before when they were doing media, a reporter asked him, like how he about like attending classes and stuff like that, and he said, "Well, there's no class for me. I graduated 2 years ago." And that just doesn't make any fucking sense in my head. That it's like
Yeah,
you graduated from college 2 years ago, but you're still playing in the NCAA. Like it just
yeah, it
doesn't
doesn't make any.
it really doesn't. It's like, well, once you graduate from fucking school, go to the NFL or go get a day job or something.
Go do something, Instead, I'm gonna just make TikTok videos and fucking play football and get paid for it. But yeah, man.
Hmm.
Fernando Mendoza declared for the NFL draft. He's going to
Yep.
be the number one pick of the Raiders.
Hmm.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. So him and Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers are going to have a little young core for the Raiders offense.
Hmm.
I don't know if they have a new coach yet. Um,
No one confirmed yet. No one signed with the Raiders yet.
so maybe Bobby Caboose is the coach. And
Mm.
I took them to a couple Super Bowls with Mac Jones on men. 3 out of 4 years before I got my franchise quarterback. So I'm just saying, Ashton Genty broke the rushing record, I think, in his second season. That's,
And, and it'd be his second season next year.
could work out. Anyway,
Maybe. Yeah.
uh, yeah. Speaking of the NFL, we got I think 2 games this weekend because, it's January and we only have 2 games left or 3 games left total. Um, But we
Hmm.
have Seattle, the Rams, an NFC West, all NFC West conference final versus what's the other one? The Denver and the Patriots.
Hmm.
Um, and I heard a little rumor, not sure if it's true, but I heard Peyton Manning and Brady are playing each other this weekend.
Dude,
They're both
it's
coming out of retirement to try to take their teams, but they're going to play in reverse. Like Brady's going to play for the Broncos.
ah, it's so funny because I remember last week because Brady's in the booth for Fox, and Fox did the NFC Championship or NFC. the Brady and Fox did Brady's team did the Seattle game, and there were videos of Brady like walking onto the field, looking sharp as hell, and just kind of like looking around. Everybody was like that it's talking to him like the Green Goblin mask, or he's thinking what he used to do in those moments, or it looks like he tried to go throw for 320 and three touchdowns. Like
Yeah.
you wins. Listen, I don't think Brady will ever come back, but if Rivers can, and I don't know if you saw this is a little side note, Philip Rivers was actually interviewing either right now or about an hour ago. He interviewed for the Buffalo Bills head coaching job, which is which is
Well,
hilarious because before he was a quarterback, he was before Philip Rivers returned, he was a head coach for the high school team in Alabama.
yeah. So, funny thing is we, when I told you yesterday that we had the Pete Rose Otani debate at the bar. Well,
Yeah.
another thing, because one of my friends, she's a huge Denver Broncos fan. Again, being from Detroit, you got your secondary team, right?
Hmm.
So she's a huge Denver Broncos fan, and we were talking about like what was the details of Philip Rivers' contract with the Colts, because was it like, okay, a 3 week contract and now he's technically a free agent? Could Denver bring him in to play, in this
Yeah.
championship game and possibly the Super Bowl? Um, be interesting topic, right?
Hmm.
Depending on the details of that contract, if because you're like, all right, do you want a guy that hasn't thrown the ball in 3 years, or someone that hasn't thrown the ball in 5 years minus these 2 3 weeks? Um, which I'd make the phone call if he's available.
Take your pick. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just really interesting to me when it comes down to like the Denver and New England, because I've seen this trend everywhere. Where it's like the 2016 trend where everybody like goes back 10 years, and it's like, well, if you look
yeah.
10 years ago, it was the Patriots going to Denver, and I don't know. It's just really this game. I think that this will be the best first half quarterback play that New England has played all postseason because Justin Herbert in the wild card round was asked. CJ Stroud was asked. I think with Jared Stidham's, do I think that he can come in and replicate what Bo Nix, did last week? No. However, I do see a scenario where he comes in and has success because what do we know about Sean Payton? He's damn near an offensive genius, and the fact
Mhm.
that with a full week to prepare against a defense that it's they've been dominant in the playoffs, but for the majority of the regular season they're good, they're okay, and like Drake May last week had another four fumbles and lost two of them. He's going against the number one sack team in the league. And could I see Drake May in his first road playoff game, turning the ball? I think if the only way New England can not lose this game is if Drake May doesn't turn the ball over, I don't think Denver has a chance. But
Is the Patriots defense any good?
is Denver's defense?
No, the in New
Oh,
England's
New England's defense
defense.
is New England's defense has been good in the playoffs. They beat the shit out of Herbert and then they destroyed C.J. Stroud. But over the course of the year, they've been an above average defense. But I wouldn't consider them in the top, 10. And like if you were to take their regular season play and their postseason play, 100% they're they've been a top 10, arguably top 5 defense. But for the totality of the regular season, I'd say they're an above average defense. They don't
Because
have they don't have the like the sack numbers or anything like crazy to put them
mhm.
above anybody else.
I can see this game going a couple of different ways. One, I could see Denver like struggling to move the ball to a
Same,
point
yeah.
where they only have like one or two first downs in the first half.
Hmm.
They make adjustments. They just can't move the ball downfield because Stiddy hasn't played in a few years. And I can also see it going Matt Flynn Lions where you're against this backup quarterback, you know nothing about him, and he throws fucking six touchdowns with 450 yards. I could see it going both ways. I think it's going to be one or the other. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, Stidham had a solid 250-yard game with, three
Two
touchdowns and
TDs
a
and a
pick.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost by three. I really don't see that. I see like one or the other. He's gonna either blow the fuck up and be like, "Oh my God, who is this guy?" And possibly, um, I could see them being because the topic came up on the radio. If he happened to win a Super Bowl, what do you do with Bo Nix? Is he still your starter, or do you? And you
Yes.
obviously yes, and you obviously trade Stidham after that to a team that needs a quarterback because you're selling high.
Or
I
you
could.
just keep them just in case.
You don't keep them, you sell them. But because you could probably do like an arm and a leg. Look, I mean, look at Nick Foles.
I mean, that's
Same thing.
true.
Like huge
Yeah.
contract here. So, um, I see that could happen, or like I said, I could see like Denver being down 17-0 at half. Them having two first downs in the entire first half with a combination of 50 yards. It's going to be interesting, man. Denver's defense can definitely keep them in this game,
Hmm.
but they're either going to need their defense to be the 2000 Ravens, or they got to have Stidham be Matt Flynn. Like
A key
there's not really an in between. I don't think they lose a close game. I think they win because he balled the fuck out, or they just get destroyed.
a key matchup for me is Will Campbell, their first round draft pick, that is in New England. He's been bad in the playoffs. Now I remember coming out, a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's got little T Rex arms, and he's not like your prototypical left tackle." You've got Nick Bonito going against you this week. Nick
Hmm.
Bonito has one of the best get offs in the league. He's explosive. He's powerful. I if Once again, I just got a funky feeling if Drake May turns the ball over twice.
I don't want AT&T internet.
Why not?
They call me every day,
They call you every day.
every day for AT&T fiber optic internet, and I'm like, dude, I would love it, but
I
I
would
don't need
love
it.
it, but I would love it, but no, I'm good. Yeah, but I just think that if like I could see Nick Bonito taking this game over now. Once again, you've got a Denver defense that was damn near on a historic pace.
Hmm.
Like from their sack totals to just they have damn near all pros at every single level. Now they are essential. Like you can run the ball on them. However, Josh McDaniels Josh McDaniel doesn't really like to like just be a ground and pound, grind it out, which is kind of interesting because when Mike Vrabel's your head coach, it's like Josh, run this ball 36 times if they're gonna let us.
Yeah, absolutely. And who do you got winning this game, or what do you think? You know, I obviously think the Patriots are going to win because I think it's going to be. I'm leaning towards Stidham not having a great game versus him like just tearing the roof off the place, even though there's no roof on the place. But you know,
I think I think this is a genuinely close game, and I think New England wins by 3. I just got a feeling it's going to be close and like has Stidham played recently? Absolutely not. Am I buying into whatever small itty bitty hype train there is? Maybe a little bit, but the totality of Denver's team, like they have an excellent offensive line, good enough weapons. Sean Payton is a wizard. Vance Joseph can get that defense riled up, and the defense is strong and good enough to kind of shut down or limit, New England's offense. So I could see this being 23-20, and Stidham gets the ball back with 40 seconds left and just makes one bad throw.
all right, we'll we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like 81-4. So you know,
Two
Denver
safeties.
81-4 Denver. Just kidding. Uh,
Ooh.
anyway, moving on to the next game is the battle of
Mm-hmm.
the NFC West. The Seattle Seahawks, who I hate, versus Matt Stafford, who I hate more. So I am hoping, I guess, for Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold kind of surprised me last week. I mean, they versed a shell of the 49ers team, but I'm kind of surprised that he won a playoff game because that's not really how his jam. Um, or how he rolls, but he won a playoff game and
Mm-hmm.
he's one game away from the Super Bowl. And all those teams, whether it's the Jets, the Panthers, I think he played for the Vikings, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I can picture him in a Vikings uniform for some reason.
Oh, you remember.
Seattle, where the hell else did he play? Somewhere else, probably. But now, Sam Darnold may add to the list Super Bowl champion. And I don't hope he wins the championship, but I hope he gets there because anyone but Stafford. And then after Stafford's gone, anyone in the AFC.
I think that
Just go Denver. Just go Denver. Denver's the only one I really want to win the Super Bowl.
that'd be awesome. Having Bo Nix play one of the best games of his life, fracturing his ankle in overtime, and then Jared Stidham coming in and leading them to a championship, that'd be awesome.
Yep.
It's Seattle's defense has been lights out all year long. However, if there's been one team to have any success against them in terms of moving the ball, it's the Rams. And there
Hmm.
there is something to playing a team for the third time where maybe you got to bust out a trick play or something, but
What's their record between each other?
they are 1-1. The first game, Darnold threw like he threw four picks, and then it came down to a last second kick. And I think Jason Myers missed it in LA. And then their second meeting, the Rams were up 16 in the fourth, and then Rashichi got a punt return, and the Rams lost in overtime because Seattle got the ball second, scored a touchdown, went for two in the game.
So I have to take a brief intermission. You probably know why. Um, go over this game when I come back. We'll go through NFL honors. Sound good?
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, BRB.
Yep. So this game in particular, it's going to be extremely interesting due to, you play a team for the third time in a season. You've got on one side the MVP, on the opposing side, you've got one of the more complete rosters in the NFL. Going into the year when they traded away Geno and got Sam Darnold, my thought process was, okay, Seattle's a real solid team, good roster, excellent defense under second year head coach Mike McDonald. But do we trust the quarterback? And if you're a Sam Darnold believer, then you 1,000,000% think that Seattle can and should probably win this game in Seattle. On the opposite side, you have arguably the MVP favorite, arguably, probably your MVP winner in Matthew Stafford, Puka Nakua, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams. Like, their offensive firepower is legit. Their defense has been shaky over the past month and a half. However, you're not going against like a world beating quarterback. And with Seattle losing their backup running back Zach Charbonnet, I think it's going to be really tough for Seattle to come out here and look as sharp as they did last week. Obviously, they were lights out from start to finish, returning the opening kick. It's just this game is about as much of a coin flip as a playoff game could be. I don't remember last time two teams played each other three times in like recently. Obviously, it's happened before. Like, Steelers Ravens, they did it in 2014, 2008. There's been a handful of other teams and matchups to do that. But if you were to put a pew pew, to my head and say, all right, Lawson, who do you think is going to win this game? I kind of like the Rams. Like they beat up on Sam Darnold the first game, forcing four turnovers. And then in the second game, they're a bad punt coverage away from this game being in LA. I like the Rams. I like Matthew Stafford in this spot. Another thing about the Rams and why it might be a great buy-in spot, they haven't played up to the Rams like stature or, pizzazz the entire postseason. They were in a close game against Carolina due to a blocked punt and defensive miscues. And then last week, you could have made the argument that they should have lost to the Bears. However, they had Chicago on a 4th and 4, and it took probably the greatest throw, one of the greatest playoff regular season throws any of us have ever seen from Caleb Williams. It's really difficult to. It's hard to beat a team twice, and especially when in the regular season you've split. Is there a chance that Seattle's defense just comes back here and bullies the Rams? I don't think so. I think it once again, if there's been any team to have any kind of success against Seattle in Seattle, I mean they've lost 3 games this year. All have been in Seattle. Is that something? I don't think so. They lost week 1 where they were driving to tie the game against the Niners and Sam Darnold fumbled by Nick Bosa. Then there was the Tampa Bay Bucks game in which they had the lead with 46 to go and Baker tied the game. Then there was, and then they lost to the Rams in LA. So that'd be
Who you
two
talking
of their
about?
3 losses. Huh? Yeah.
You talking about?
Yeah. I think that the Rams have, not saying their number, but it's 1-1. And as I just mentioned, I don't know if you heard, but I think that the Rams are a bad punt coverage away from or
Hmm.
bad punt fielding away from this game being in LA and LA being, the number 1 seed.
Yeah, and I think for this game, it comes down to quarterback play.
Mm.
Who do you trust? Or Matt Stafford, who's been there, but that makes me sick to my stomach. That's why I just had to go use the restroom. And or Sam Darnold. Darnold with last year having a career year, going 15-2 and getting bounced first round in the playoffs. This year, I kind of expected the same, but again, they played the ghost of the San Francisco 49ers, not the actual team. So I think it comes down to quarterback play. I don't know if you covered that, but
Mm.
as most, I think NFL playoff games either come down to defense or who's behind center. It should be an interesting game. I think it'll be a lot closer than the Broncos Patriots game, but I'm just hoping that Stafford gets eliminated. I don't need all this press around him, especially around here.
So
But
so you're picking Seattle via your head or via your the hate in your heart?
both. So anyway, you mentioned the
I like
NFL
the Rams, by
honors.
the way.
All right.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, NFL honors, man.
Mm.
Tell me some nominees, some
All
awards. Let's
right.
go.
So we're gonna go through all the awards. So we're gonna start from. There's not really a least to most prestigious. So we're just gonna go on down the list. Assistant Coach of the Year: Brian Flores for the Vikings, Clint Kubiak for Seattle, Vic Fangio for the Eagles, Josh McDaniels for the Patriots, and Vance Joseph for the Broncos. And once again, this
Give,
is for the Assistant Coach of the Year.
give me Clint Kubiak.
I like Clint Kubiak too.
Who's yours?
Clint Kubiak.
Clint. All
Like
right.
going from what Seattle's offense wasn't last year to the crazy explosion this year, it's I think that overseas. I do think out of all five of those assistant coaches, I do think Josh McDaniels is the best offensive coach, well, offensive coordinator in the league, but. I think for this season award, I think Clint Kubiak just. If you would have told me that Seattle was top 3 in scoring, I would have said, "Okay, dude, it's a Sam Darnold led team." I'll believe when I
Yeah,
see it. And they were damn near putting boots to asses all season long.
yeah. From someone like myself that assists on the regular, he's a great assistant coach.
Great assistant coach. Comeback player the Comeback player of the year. Year five finalists are Dak Prescott, Christian McCaffrey, Stephon Diggs, Trevor Lawrence, and Aiden Hutchinson.
All right, give me Trevor Lawrence. The things that he did in Jacksonville this year, they looked like a contender out of the AFC before they got Josh Allen.
Hmm.
Trevor Lawrence has been uh, somewhat consistently decent throughout his career, and I think
Yeah.
this year he took a big step up.
Hmm.
And Jacksonville obviously wouldn't have been in the position that they were without him.
I like Trevor Lawrence too. I think it'll either be him or Stephon Diggs. Because I remember Stephon Diggs when he went to Houston last year. Those first 3 weeks, I think he had like 4 touchdowns, something ridiculous. And then he popped his ACL, and an aging receiver at his age, it's like, well, damn, he might never be the same. And then this year has a good solid year in New England. I'm pretty sure he hit the 1,000 yard receiving mark.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't count him out to win it, but I mean, comeback player of the year is kind of tough because it's basing off of injuries for the most part. And I mean, McCaffrey missed damn near the entire year last year and was healthy this year. You know, Dak off the hamstring injury, Stephon Diggs off the ACL, Trevor Lawrence after taking that kill shot when they played. The Texans and Ada Hutchinson. Just destroying his leg. I
Yeah.
mean, I think they all had good strong years. But out of those five, I would also have to agree with. I think Trevor Lawrence will probably win this award.
Yeah, and a little bit of quarterback bias, so
Yeah,
whatever. But
yeah. So then we'll go to the rookie awards. Your offensive rookie of the years, or offensive rookies of the year, your finalists. You got Tedero McMillan, Tyler Show, Emeka Egbuka, Travion Henderson, and Jackson Dart.
if you would have asked me at the beginning of the year, it would have been Abuka or whatever the hell his name is all
Hmm.
day. Um, if Jackson Dart didn't get hurt towards the end of the year, I would have went Jackson Dart. But I am going to go with the guy that gained the most momentum, I think, throughout the year, and that's McMillan for
Hmm.
Carolina, a 6'5" guy out of Arizona, or Arizona State, one of them, I forget which one, but 6'5" target for a young, no pun intended, Bryce Young. Finally getting him some weapons that aren't Adam Thielen, or a million years old. Easy target, big wide range as far as catch radius. I think this guy is going to be a superstar. He looks like Calvin Johnson light as far as his size, and getting into the red zone, it's so nice to have a
Hmm.
6'5" guy that can jump up to, 10 probably plus feet. Probably easily can dunk a basketball. And for a little guy like Bryce Young to just be able to throw it up to him, I think it was a perfect pick for the Carolina
Hmm.
Panthers. Get Bryce Young some weapons, and we saw what he can do when he has someone to throw to.
I think the biggest snub is that Tyler Warren isn't even on like isn't a finalist, because I thought he was amazing for the Colts.
Mhm.
But I mean, you kind of see what you were talking about, the kind of quarterback bias, just a little bit with Tyler
Yeah,
Show. Because
yeah,
if there was a quarterback, I would have assumed that it would have been Jackson Dart. But he kind of because he got thrown in. Then the Giants won a couple games, and then he got hurt, and that ended the season. Also,
right.
if Cam Scatterboo didn't, break his leg, I think he could have been in the ring too. But I'm right there, and I'm with you in lockstep with uh Ted McMillan. He broke the Panthers' single season receiving record for rookies. He led. all rookies cracked the 1,000 yard mark. I thought he had an excellent rookie year.
Yeah.
Defensive rookie of the year. You have two Falcons on this list or on the ballot. Xavier Watts for the Falcons, James Pierce Jr. for the Falcons, Abdul Carter for the Giants, Nick Emanwari for Seattle, and then Carson Schwessinger. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. He linebacker for the Browns.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to defense, so go ahead. Give me Levon Kirkland.
Levon Kirkland. That's a pull. That's a crazy pull. Um, It's really tough. I like Carson Schweschinger. I mean, once again, outside of Miles Garrett, the Browns weren't really much to watch this year. Even
Mhm.
though they beat your Steelers, they did eat shit. But I thought out of all the defensive rookies, he was excellent, and
Yeah.
I think he has Pro Bowl potential and second team All Pro potential. And once again, if you are a bad organization and team, it's kind of easy to stand apart. And I felt like him and Miles Garrett were the two best players for the Browns last year.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, what's the next one? Because we don't care about defensive rookies.
Because we don't care about defensive rookies. We'll go offensive player of the year: Puka Nakua, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Drake May.
This is tough. This is tough. Drake May, obvious MVP candidate, so I don't think he'll win Offensive Player of the Year unless he doesn't win MVP. Um, this award usually goes to, a non-quarterback,
Hmm.
because MVP is usually a quarterback. How can you say no to Puka? I mean, the guy seems to be always open,
Hmm.
regardless on coverage, regardless if he's open or not. He makes phenomenal catches. He seems to find the end zone every game. He seems to be over 100 yards every game. Um, but that being said, I mean, how do you take it away from JSN? Uh, Breakout year this year. He is
Ridiculous.
now considered probably a top five receiver.
Hmm.
Um, maybe bumping Amon Ra out of that group. Not sure. Um, if I had to choose, man, I'd probably go with JSN just because of the unexpectancy.
Hmm.
And it was right in front of our face that this was going to happen with the Metcalf trade.
Hmm.
There's a reason why they got rid of Metcalf and gave him to your bum ass organization. Um, but if they obviously seen the writing on the wall, they seen the talent in this guy. Again, it should have been we all as fans should have seen this coming because why do you get rid of Metcalf where you have one of the greatest receiving cores in the league, and you get rid of, arguably the second best receiver on the team now because JSN has taken that top spot.
Hmm.
But I would give it to him, man. He deserves it. I think it's between him and Puka, but
Yeah.
I would give it to JSN just because he's the one that kind of had the breakout year as far as no one really expected him to almost break Calvin Johnson's record.
Dude, like it is almost as close as it's genuinely a coin flip. Like I was looking at the numbers because I was like, I know they were, up there in really close terms of numbers. Like Puka Nakua had 1,715 receiving yards and 11 touchdowns, and Jackson Smith and Jigba had 1,793 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, and
Mhm.
averaged one catch fewer than Puka. I would lean Puka, but I think it's a two-man race between those two guys.
Yeah,
Those two dudes kind of separated themselves in terms of just dominant non-quarterbacks.
absolutely.
Now to go to the defensive side of the ball, defensive player of the years, and I think we'll both this. I don't think this will take long. You have Aiden Hutchinson, Will Anderson, Nick Bonito, Micah Parsons, and Miles Garrett.
All right, so it should be Aiden Hutchinson because I have money on him winning Defensive Player of the Year, and it would make me like $800.
But
But it's Miles Garrett. Unfortunately, I hate that guys have an extra game to break records.
mhm.
You break a record, you're probably going to win awards. So go ahead, Miles Garrett.
When you break a record, you're probably gonna. I want an award. Well, did you break a record? Yeah. Okay. Well, then here you go, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
like once again, when it's not obviously what he did is not easy, but it is easy to look as dominant as he does when you are, the bright spot. Now, once again, it kind of puts an extra emphasis as to how good he was because he is the okay, we're going to stop him and we're going to be just fine, and you still couldn't do it. And to have 23 sacks where your team is bad and you're down in the fourth quarter where all teams doing are running the ball is running the ball. And I mean, he had like 12 sacks in a 3 game stretch, and it's just like, dude, you like
yeah,
I remember for like a month, like the difference between him and number two was like 8 sacks for the longest. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Save some for the rest of us.
yeah. So should be
Hmm.
Aiden, but it will be Garrett because he
Yeah.
broke a record. Next one.
Coach of the year, Mike Vrabel, Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDonald, Liam Cohen, and your guy, Ben Johnson. Is he still your guy in spirit?
Um, no, but I think it's between Vrabel and Ben Johnson.
Mm,
Um, I think the Patriots are a year or two ahead of schedule,
yeah.
and he's done a great job when the Lions offered Fatty Patty a contract for their head coach Matt Patricia. I was begging for Mike Vrabel as our head coach. Obviously didn't happen. I think from what he did in Tennessee, getting them the number one seed at least once and being at the top of the AFC with Ryan Tannehill as your quarterback, I think that proves that you are a good head coach. Again, the Patriots are ahead of schedule on any kind of rebuild, and it kind of sucks that the Patriots Dynasty 2.0 may be here.
Mm,
Um, and then you look at Ben Johnson, and you look at a Bears team who has sucked for a long time, and they come surprise everyone, win the North, and did they win a playoff game? Yeah, they won a playoff game, right?
yeah, they beat the
Um,
Packers.
yeah, so I think it's between those two. If I had to give it out, I would probably give it to Ben Johnson.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it sucks that he's in the division, but he definitely deserves it.
It, with this, dude, I feel like three of these awards are all coin flips. I'm right there with you between Vrabel and Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson would win, and if I had a vote, he would get mine just because like each team went from bad to extremely good and won their division this year. My only thing with is that Ben Johnson won a tougher division. Like
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that to me is the separator. Like they both won their division. They both were top two seeds in their respective conference. But that NFC North is ridiculous.
yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
And the last one, and everyone's favorite, most valuable player, we have Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Christian McCaffrey, Drake May, and Matthew Stafford.
All right, I think it should be Drake May. Stafford, I think, was the front runner until the last couple weeks of the season,
Hmm.
and um, dude, Drake May's been consistent the entire year. Again, ahead of schedule, I think by a year or two. But he has taken such a significant step up from his rookie season. Not saying his rookie season was bad, but
Hmm.
just playing on another level this year.
Right.
Um, being the number 2 seed in the AFC, impressive. Um, I would give it to my man Drake May.
I think that I think Matt Stafford's gonna win. Just like I thought he was. If you were to like example, if you were to come and argue with me that Drake May was the best quarterback in the league this year, I'm not gonna fight you on it. Stafford led the league in passing yards, led the league in passing touchdowns, had less than 10 picks, and now is there a big difference between 14-3 and 12-5? Well, yeah, it's 2 wins. I It's really tough. And Drake May, in those same categories, he was fourth in passing yards, third in passing touchdowns, and they had the same amount of picks. Like Drake May had 43.94 passing yards and 31 touchdowns, and Stafford had 4,700 yards and 46 touchdowns. He had 15 more passing touchdowns than Drake May, and that to me is the like the record and they both passed the eye test for the two best quarterbacks in the league this year. I just feel like, are we kind of sweeping stats a little bit under the rug? Because yeah, he had about 400, just around 400 more passing yards, but he had 15 more passing touchdowns.
Yeah, how much rushing yards did Drake May have? 'Cause isn't he a little bit of a scrambler?
Oh, he's a little bit of a scrambler. He had and Drake May also led the league in completion percentage. Where's his rushing yards at? Because I know he had.
Uh, because not to penalize Stafford, but he's also got two
Oh,
of the best receivers in the league. And
100%.
Drake
Yeah.
May's with a bunch of no names.
Mm,
Demario Davis or whatever the hell his name is. You know,
yeah. And once again, I think both players have a great case. I just think with Stafford throwing 15 more touchdowns, it's just
yeah,
I if once again if I had a vote, I'd give it to Stafford. But
right.
I'm not poo pooing if I'm not poo pooing the Drake supporters that are like it should be Drake May's MVP award because I'm like, you're right, dude. Because Drake May was excellent, and I just thought Stafford was this much better, like just a smidgen.
Anyway, there's our award show. When do they announce
D-
them?
they announced those the Thursday before the Super Bowl, so it'll be February 5th,
Sweet. So
and
February 5th.
we got a little bit of breaking news that I saw from the MLB world. Uh,
Dog behind
so,
you.
huh?
There's a dog behind you.
There's the dog. Where is Sir Anthony Dominguez is signing with the White Sox, which that that's another chip out of the Blue Jays armor.
Yeah. Cool. Go to the White Sox. They suck. Anyway,
Go to the White
uh,
Sox.
here I'm gonna do my spiel. So thank you for joining us here at the Legends Clubhouse on the Friday. I know we had a little bit of adjusted time because I had a phone call before here that I had to take. So I
Hmm.
appreciate it. And sorry for my little interruption. And that's what happens when I eat in a rush before the Legends Clubhouse. Got to use the restroom. Plus, you were talking about Matt Stafford. He deserves to be in the toilet anyway. So, um, thank you for joining us here on New Leaf News' YouTube channel. We are live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at the Legends Clubhouse. Hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate the follow. Go over to newleafnews.com/network. Guess what? We just renewed our domain, so we still have it for another year. Yeah. Anyway, go over there, check us out. We got daily content, whether it's sports, entertainment, horoscopes, crime, you name it, we got it. Politics, whatever, we got it on our site. So go check us out. We appreciate the support on all
Hmm.
the views that we are. We all know that everyone here on Earth has some kind of social media, or the majority of people do. So go check us out at New Leaf News, whether it's on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or X. It's all at New Leaf News. I am at Bobby Kaboose on Instagram and X. Go follow me. I'd appreciate it. That is at Lawson _1226 on those two platforms as well. If you like podcasts, especially if you like wrestling, go check out my other show at 64-Bit Legends. We are gearing up for our 64-Bit Legends Rumble, which will be live on Twitch February 7th. So check out our latest superstars that are entering our Rumble. We'd appreciate the follow and support over there as well. Other than that, I think I am done. Thank you for joining us here on this Friday, and have a great weekend, Lawson. If you want to take us out, I am good to go.
Awesome. For New Leaf News and Legends Clubhouse, I am Lawson Turn. That is by Kaboose. We will see you beautiful people Monday afternoon at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, we hope you enjoy your weekend. Stay indoors and stay warm because the snow's coming everywhere.
What are
And
you talking
we're
about?
gonna go, huh?
It's 76 where you're at. What are you talking about?
Everyone but me.
Like,
Everyone but me. Listen.
don't sympathize for us. Just go put your bathing suit on, go lay at the beach or some shit, and I'll go shovel the snow.
I'll go shovel the snow.
I'll go salt the driveway.
Do you
Out of here.
salt the driveway?
You were supposed to.
I'm saying, do you do it?
Do I? No.
It's amazing.
Tell my dad.
Eh,
I
well,
asked over someone's driveway.
it's amazing. We'll see you, beautiful
Salt the
people.
driveway.
Huh?
Salt your driveway.
Salt your driveway. If you go outside, make a snowball, throw it at someone, and we will see you, beautiful people, Monday afternoon at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, peace.
Throw a snowball at your ass.